Hey everyone, I'm Ali Aziz and I'm a CPA licensed in the state of Texas. My CPA firm is focused on serving real estate professionals such as real estate agents, real estate brokers, and realtors, and also real estate investors. Our firm also has a focus on serving small business owners. Today I'm going to talk to you all about the LLC, the limited liability company. And I'm going to explain to you all why it is beneficial for many small business owners to have an LLC as their entity structure, and also how the LLC is taxed for federal income tax purposes with the IRS. So, first, I just want to say that I'm not an attorney, so if you have any questions about the legal implications of what I'm going to talk about today, I would advise you to speak to an attorney. I'm a CPA, so I'm going to speak about the tax implications of what I'm going to talk about today. So let's dive in. So LLC stands for Limited Liability Company, and basically there are, two main branches of LLCs. The first is a single member LLC and the other is a multi-member LLC. Okay? So single member LLC means that it's, one person in the LLC. Multi-member means there's more than one member. So what is the purpose of forming an LLC? Let's say that a client or customer is unhappy with your service and that client or customer wants to sue the business. Well, if your business is in the form of an LLC, then the client can only come after the assets and resources that are present within the LLC. If, however, the business is not in the form of an LLC, then the client could potentially not only come after the business assets, but also come after your personal assets. And that's why it's so essential to have an LLC structure. So that being said, now that we know the reason for it, let's talk about the default classifications and the S corporation election. So if you have a single member LLC, the way to form an LLC, step one is usually to go through your Secretary of State. So in Texas, for instance, which is where I'm based out of, you would go to the Texas Secretary of State and form your LLC online on their website. Once you've formed it, the next step is to file for an EIN number with the IRS. Okay, so once you go through that process, you now have an EIN number, and that number is specific to that particular business. So that number is different from the Social Security number that you have for your personal purposes. So that specific EIN number identifies the business. Okay, so it's an identification number specifically for your business versus the Social Security number, which identifies you personally. So once you do that, you've formed your LLC and you have your EIN number from the IRS. Now, if you're a single member LLC, by default, you are going to be a sole proprietor once you have your EIN number, right? So this is how you're going to normally file is via Schedule C on your 1040. That's how you will file as a single member LLC. If you elect to be an S corporation as a single member LLC, then what you would do is file Form 2553, and that's the S Corp election form, and you would file that with the IRS. If you do that, instead of filing on Schedule C on your 1040, you would have another tax return, Form 1120S, and you would put your income and deductions on that form instead of the Schedule C of the 1040. So in this case, your net income would flow from your S corporation onto your 1040, and it wouldn't be present on Schedule C if you elected S corp status. All right. Now, for a multi-member LLC, the default status is a partnership. So let's say you and another person, you get into a partnership, you form a multi-member LLC. By default, that's going to be taxed as a partnership. Okay, and as a partnership, you can also elect S corp status. Okay, so by default, you're a partnership and you file as a partnership. If you elect S corp status, instead of filing Form 1065, which is a partnership return, you will file Form 1120S instead, and that's where you'll put your income and your expenses and come up with your net income, and that'll flow through to your Form 1040. So just so you understand, hopefully that was helpful, in understanding how all this works. There is no Form LLC, so you're not going to file Form LLC with the IRS or anything like that for federal purposes. the LLC is taxed in these ways that I described. Now, another issue that I know is out there for the S Corp is that S Corps, many advisors advise their clients to elect S Corp status in order to, take advantage of self-employment taxes, and that I can talk about in another video as to why that election, can be made and what is the math behind that. So I'll explain that in, a different video. For the purposes of this particular video, I hope that was helpful. I hope it was helpful, to have a, explanation of what the LLC is, you know, how it can be taxed in these ways, and I hope that you learn from it. So if you like that, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I just want to let you all know I'm Ali Aziz. I'm a CPA, and here's my website, aliazizcpa.com. I am currently taking on new clients, so if you're interested, please reach out to me. You can look at my website, send me an email, call me on my phone, and we can have a conversation. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.